Good morning, everyone. Uh, Today, I'm going to be giving you a guideline of exactly how we conduct our classes. And also, I'm going to go through this schedule with you on so that you know exactly when are we having the classes and what are we going to be covering when we conduct the classes as well. And then after that, I will also show you exactly how we get the material on the website. If you check on the different groups as well. I have already shared with you the links to the YouTube videos that we've made publicly available, which are not embedded into our website, which shows exactly what give you a feel of exactly how we conduct our classes when we look at the coverage of the first study unit of the curriculum as well. So you see that when it comes to our schedule, with regards to our schedule, you see that our schedule, if you check on our website, our schedule is today we're going to be having a class, and then on the 26th of April, we are going to be conducting a class as well. So on the 26th of April, we are conducting a class, and on the in the class that we're going to be having as well, we are going to be looking at assignment number one of your curriculum. So on the 26th of April, we are going to be conducting a class and we'll be looking at assignment number one of the curriculum. So between 8 and 11, that's when we're going to be looking at assignment number one. Then after that, we are also going to be looking at assignment number two on the 21st of July. So on the 21st of July, that's when we are going to be looking at assignment number two as well. So this is based on the timetable where we said that if you check on your timetable for when you're going to be having the classes, you see that on your timetable for assignment number one, they tell us that assignment number one for INV4801 is due on the 19th of May. So the assignment number one is due on the 19th of May. So we're going to be looking at it on the 26th of April so that there's enough time for you to now be able to compile the information and also customize your answers as well. Because when we go through the assignment with you in class, we'll go through all the questions with you so that you know exactly how to attempt the questions. If there's something that you need clarity on, we'll also clarify how to look at the questions as well, and how to attempt the questions as well. Then what we're also going to do is that after the class as well, I'm going to share a Word document which is the template on which guides you on exactly how to answer the questions. So don't just copy and paste those the template that I would have given you, because you're going to end up getting caught on issues of plagiarism if you just copy and paste and the next student just does that, the next student that does that as well. You end up getting caught on issues of plagiarism. So which means use that template that I'm going to share with you as a guideline, so that you know that when you're typing your assignment and you're typing your answers as well, you are making sure that you're in the right direction when it comes to addressing the questions as well. So please make sure that you use that as a guideline. And then on the 21st of July, we are also going to look at assignment number two as well, which is so on the 21st of July, we're also going to look at assignment number two. Then what we're going to do is that how we are going to be structuring your curriculum is that when we cover certain sections, when we cover certain sections as well, we are going to give you access to videos, where you cover certain sections, and then we conduct a class to review the sections that you should have covered. Then you cover a certain number of sections as well, and then we conduct a class to review the sections that you would have covered as well. So you see that on the 12th of July, we're going to be conducting a class between 8 and 12 midday. And during this session, we're going to be reviewing chapters 1 to chapter 5 of the old textbook. So what we have done as well is that we have noticed that when it comes to Inv4801, they did change the textbook, but if you look at the way that the lecturer has been bringing in questions in assignments and in past question papers as well, they are based on the old textbook that was brought in as well. So the assignment questions and the exam past question papers as well, they are very much based on the old textbook. So we do have videos on the old textbook, and then we also have videos available based on the new textbook, because on the old textbook there are 9 chapters that you need to cover for your curriculum. And then on the new textbook, there are about 18 chapters that they also brought in, which are based on the information, comprehensively based on the information as well. So we found that the way that the lecturer asked the questions as well is very much still based on the old textbook. So unless otherwise anything changes as well, we are going to be giving you information and basing it on the old textbook so that you don't end up getting confused. Although we do have a database based on the new textbook because we did cover it as well. So the information that we're going to be covering now and the material that we're going to be covering currently now is based on the old textbook. So you'll see that in the old textbook, we're going to be looking at reviewing chapters number 1 to chapter number 5. Then we're going to be reviewing this on the 12th of July from 8 to 12. Then on the 4th of October from 8 to 12, we're going to be reviewing chapters 5 to 12 of the textbook as well. So what we do when we review these chapters, we review these chapters and go through these chapters with you in class to make sure that if there's anything that needs to be clarified, we clarify that information. And then when we, in this review class as well, we are going to pick practice questions based on past question papers and past assignments as well. And then these practice questions, we are going to use them now to polish up the sections that we are saying that you should have covered. So which means on the 12th of July, we would have sent you practice questions already before that class, so that when we review chapters 1 to 5 of the old textbook, we're going to look at questions that are relevant to those chapters as well. Then we'll move on the 4th of October, when we review chapters 5 to 12 of the textbook. We're going to review those sections together with you, and we have go through practice questions with you as well. And please note that from chapters 5 to 12 is not all the chapters that we're going to be covering, but I'll also highlight to you exactly what needs to be covered from those chapters as well. Then what we're going to do as well is that on the 14th of November, from 2 to 5, we are going to be looking at the Jan-Feb 2026 paper, which is the one that has been written this year. Then on the 28th of November, from 2 to 5, we are going to be looking at the May-June 2026 paper. Then on the 6th of December, from 2 to 5, we are going to be looking at reviewing assignment number 1. Then on the 3rd of January next year, when we reopen after we break for Christmas, we're going to be reviewing assignment number 2. Then the remaining classes that we're going to be having there on the 16th of January from 2 to 5, and also on the 30th of January from 8 to 11 is going to be discussion classes. In these discussion classes, if there's any problem concept that you would have come across, or that we know that students also struggle with when it comes to going through the curriculum as well, we are going to be looking at these problem questions. So which means if there's any problem question that you came across during the revision period, even when you were breaking for Christmas as well, if there's any problem questions, we are going to be looking at them as well. Please take note. Even before these classes that are going to be looking at to review these different chapters as well, or even if you go through the revision period as well, right? If there's anything you come across that is difficult and you need clarity on, I'm always available to answer your queries. Sometimes I'm on the road, so which means if I take time, give me 24 hours to be able to respond to your query. If I don't respond to your query, please remind me, because sometimes I receive a lot of queries, although at the end of each day, I always check on my WhatsApp messages to make sure that I've addressed any questions that or any query that has been brought to me as well. In case I miss any of your queries as well, if you don't get a response from me in more than 24 hours, please send me a WhatsApp message as well, because maybe I would have missed it, but highly unlikely. But I always make sure that I respond to any queries that you send me within 24 hours. So if there's any queries that you might have, please don't wait until the review classes for you to be able to get the responses. I'm always available on WhatsApp to address it. It's either I can quickly respond it on WhatsApp, or I can give you a call to explain what I'm trying to. If it's a bit longer, if the explanation is a bit longer, or even I can set up a meeting as well if it's something that I feel like I need to explain in a bit more detail as well. I'm always available to assist. So don't wait until the classes that you've set forth there for me to be able to assist you when it comes to any queries that you might have. I'm always available to address anything, any queries that you might have. So please take note of this schedule. And also, when it comes to the revision schedule, right? The schedule that we have currently so far is based on the timing of remember, when it comes to your modules, the official dates for your exams are usually released end of November, beginning of December. That's when they release the official dates or the final dates when it comes to your exams. So the timetable that we have now for the revision period is usually based on our estimates to say, generally, this exam is written on a certain date. So we should be able to, if we do these classes on this particular date as well, we should be able to set this class at this particular date as well, which means that if there's going to be any changes to the revision schedule, it means that it's just the dates that are going to be changing. The number of hours, we make sure that we maintain the number of hours. What might change is the dates, depending on exactly how soon they bring the exam date or how later they bring the exam date. So which means that as we go into the revision period for January, we try as much as possible to review and make sure that our schedule is based on the final exam dates. So if there's any changes to those dates, we make sure that I'll make sure that I make an announcement on the WhatsApp group so that you have the information on the exam dates as well, so that you have the information available. So this is our proposed schedule for when we're going to be having the classes. So please, I'm also going to make sure that I share this timetable with you on the WhatsApp group so that you know exactly when are we having the classes and what are we expected to cover as well when we're going to be having those classes as well. If anything changes, I'll also make an announcement on the WhatsApp group to say on this particular date, we're supposed to cover this, but we need to adjust our timetable so that it reflects that. If the assignment is not yet released on the date that we have scheduled as well, what we're going to do is that if the assignment is not yet released, it means that we're going to be adjusting the assignment dates as well to reflect when the assignment is going to be released so that we have realistic dates of when we're going to be having the classes to address these assignments as well. So is there any question regarding the scheduling? So please note that when it comes to our fees, we charge an annual fee of 1,500 per module. So we charge an annual fee of 1,500 per module. And this annual fee, you can now break it down into monthly installments. You can also break it down into monthly installments so that you are able, as long as you ensure that by 31 December this year, you've settled your fees. So as long as you make sure that by 31 December this year, you've settled your fees. And remember, this fee is including assistance with going through the study units, assistance with assignments, as well as going through the revision program as well. And I'm also going to share with you exactly how to access the material, and also when it comes to going through the study units, and because we also have the soft copy of the textbook. And I'm also going to share with you as well how to access the revision material, because for the revision material, we have past question papers, answers to the past question papers, past assignments, the answers to the past assignments, and then we also have videos going through the past question papers and some of the assignments as well. So we do have all this database that is available that you can also utilize as well. And then over and above this is also including the online classes that we're going to be having as well. So which means when it comes to our curriculum, it's a hybrid system where there's videos available and then there's also online classes that are also going to be conducted as well, so that we're able to make sure that you cover as much ground as possible when it comes to going through the curriculum. So are there any questions so far before I demonstrate to you how you would be able to access the material on our website? Any questions? Now, I'm also going to demonstrate to you how to access the to log into your website and also be able to access the material as well. So you see that when you go to the home page on our website, if you want to be able to access the information on our different packages as well, if you go to register and you go to postgraduates, you see that you'll be able to access the information for INV4801. And when you click on the module there, you will see that these are the different packages that we offer as well. So you see that the rhodium, platinum, and bronze package, they are meant for revision period. So they are not meant for now, they are meant for the revision period. What is relevant for now is the premium package as well as the diamond package. With the premium package, we're saying if you pay your full fee upfront, we also give you full access to our database, which means we give you full access to the videos going through the study units. Remember, you would already gotten the soft copy of the textbook, so we give you videos to going through all the study units. So you're able to access the videos going through all the study units. You're also able to access the revision material, and you're also able to access the videos going through the revision materials immediately. So we are giving you full access to our database. The only thing that you're not going to be able to have is the videos of the material of the classes that we're going to be having as well, which we're going to be uploading as soon as we conduct the classes. Then if you go on the diamond package as well, this is where we are saying that the fee of 1,500, you are paying it on a monthly basis as long as you ensure that you settle the 1,500 by 31 December this year. So what this means is that we will also give you the videos going through the study units as and when we go, but we will also make sure that whenever we have a date that has been scheduled to review the different study units as well, by the time we get to that date or as we're approaching that date as well, all the videos for that's supposed to be covered by that period would be available to you as students as well. Then what we're also going to do is that beginning of October, remember our revision period starts in November. So which means if you're on the diamond package, it also means that beginning of October, that's when we open up access to the revision material as well. So that's when we open up access for you to be able to access the past question papers, past assignments, and their memos, as well as the videos as well. We'll open them up from beginning of October as well. That's if you're on the diamond package. So because if you pay on a month on installment basis, we also have to limit how we give you access, not the full database as well. So we give you access, but we'll also make sure that you're not going to be disadvantaged, because we will always try as much as possible to ensure that you have access to all the videos that we are saying that you should have covered by every milestone that you should have reached as well. So these are the two different packages that are going to be relevant to you. The rest of these packages are relevant for the revision period. Now, if you want to be able to log in to our website so that you're able to access the material as well, you see that if you click on student log in there, if you don't have a user account, you can create a user account here where you indicate your email, your username, as well as creating your password as well. Then once you are ready, you have a user account, then in future, it means that you're just going to simply log in for you to be able to access the material as well. Now, once you log in, you see that once you are logged in, you will be able to now access the material as well. So you see that once you have logged in on your dashboard, it will show you under my courses, it shows you the list of modules that you are registered for as well. So if you click on INV4801, you will be able to access this. And if you click on curriculum, the first thing that you should be able to access there is for you to be able to download the soft copies of the textbook as well. And if it will give you the link to the Google Drive, and on the Google Drive, you will be able to access um, all the textbook. And remember, if you check on this Google Drive, because we don't sell these textbooks to you, you will be able to access all the textbook for FIN 4801, FIN 4802, and INB 4801 as well. Because we're not selling this, we're just making it available to you as students. So we give you access to all the material in this under one link as well. Then after the first tab, which is the one for you to be able to access the soft copies of the textbook, the next thing that you're going to be able to access there is basically the videos going through the different study units. So which means you will be able to access the videos going through study unit topic 1. Remember, topic 1 is the way you look at the portfolio management and the investment policy statement. So you'll be able to access the videos going through chapters number 1, chapter number 2, and chapter number 3. And then when you move on forward as well, you'll be able to access the videos going through topic number 2, topic 3, topic 4, topic 5, topic 6, and topic 7 as well. You will be able to access the videos going through all these topics as well. Then after this, the next thing that you'll be able to access is once we do conduct those classes reviewing the different chapters as well, we are also going to be able to upload these videos there so that you're able to, if you miss the class or you want to go back to that particular class that we would have conducted as well, you are able to access the videos there as well. Then there's also when we go through revision period as well, you will be able to access the videos. So you'll be able to access the soft copies of the material for you to be able to access what the revision material as well. So which means you are able to access the question and answers to the assignments. You're able to access the past question papers, and you're also able to access the memos to the past question papers as well. So these are the materials that we are going to be able to give you access to. So you'll see that when you click on this as well, it allows you to be able to access the memos to the past question papers. As you can see on our database, we have memos to the past question papers from Jan-Feb 2017, which you are able to access and download as well, all the way through to May-June 2025. So which means this year, when we do the 2026 papers as well, we're going to make sure that we make them available to you, and also you're able to access the material as well. Then over and above this as well, you will see that there is also going to be videos that are available for the revision period as well. So for revision as well, there's going to be videos that are available. So you see that the material that we have currently now for the videos is the videos from 2019 all the way through to 2025. So from 2019 through to 2025, there's videos for the assignments as well as the Jan-Feb papers and the May-June papers as well. So you see that from 2019, 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, and 2025. The videos going through the assignments, the Jan-Feb paper, the May-June paper as well, we do have these videos available that you are able to access and utilize as well. So that's basically how we are going to be able to give you access to the videos so that you're able to now know exactly where do you get these videos and how to access them as well. Where do you get the material and how do you access the material as well? So is there any question regarding accessing the user account and being able to access the material as well as the videos? Is there any question? All right. The next thing that I need to make sure that I cover with you is now giving you a rundown of exactly what is covered in the different study units and the different chapters that are expected to be covered in the textbook as well. So if you check in the study guide, there, you see that when it comes to the material that is expected to be covered for relevant for your for the old textbook as well, you will see that topic number 1 looks at the portfolio management process and the investment policy statement. Now, when you look at the investment policy statement, you are basically looking at its a way you're looking at the objectives against the constraints. So the objectives are the return objectives and the risk objectives. Then the constraints are the liquidity constraints, time horizon, and legal and regulatory as well. So this is all covered in chapter number 1 of the textbook. So the lecturer gives you a breakdown of exactly what is expected to be covered in study unit 1. And then they also tell you exactly which section is going to be covered as well. So which means, as you can see here, study unit number 1 and study unit number 2 here as well, it's basically going back to chapter number 1 of the textbook. Then study unit number 3 looks at managing individual investor portfolios. And this is referring you to chapter number 2 of the textbook. Then when you look at study unit unit 4, it looks at managing institutional investor portfolios, and it's referring you to chapter number 3 of the old textbook as well. Then from there, they also look at, so they're just giving a summary of exactly what was covered there as well. Then the next topic looks at capital market expectations. And when you look at capital market expectations, you are going to look at macro expectations, micro expectations, and any challenges that you are going to be encountering now when you're now focusing, making this forecast. And remember, when you look at capital market, capital market expectations, you are just basically looking at the different methods that are used in determining the expected return. Because remember, your expectation in this case is the return that you're expecting to earn on your investment portfolio. So which means it's when you look at capital market expectations, you're basically saying, based on the information that is available in the market as well, how do you now build up to say, based on this information, how much is my estimate, how much am I expecting to earn as a return from my investment portfolio as well? So that's basically what is covered in topic number 2. And based on these, they tell us that as a guideline, we need to make sure that under this section, we need to look at chapter number 4 of the textbook. So we need to make sure that we also cover chapter number 4 of the textbook. So which means for this particular section, we are looking at chapter number 4 of the textbook in essence as well. So we need to make sure that we cover chapter number 4 of the textbook. Then from there, we look at the next section. And on the next section, we are looking at asset allocation. And when you look at asset allocation there, you are now looking to say, remember here, when you look at Inv4801, right? The whole process is you are looking at it from a perspective of a financial advisor or investment advisor, to be more specific. So as an investment advisor, a client comes to you and they say, I want to invest so much money, right? They come to you and say, I want to invest so much money. So if they want to invest so much money, so what do? You cannot just say, okay, you want to invest money, take this money, invest it there. You need to determine exactly, you need to determine methodically how to make that decision to say, this is where they should invest. So the first thing that you do, that we saw in topic number 1, when you look at the investment policy statement, you're now going to say, how do we link their risk and return objectives together? Because we need to make sure that as they are trying to, as they're able to trying to meet this objective of earning this return on their investment, how do we ensure that they're able to take the risk that is also connected with the potential return as well? Because remember, the higher the risk that you're taking, the higher the expected return as well. So the higher the expected return, the higher the risk that you're going to be taking on the investment as well. So that's why you see that topic 1, we're now looking to say, okay, fine. So based on this, how much is your overall risk profile based on that? Then from there, we're now going to look at, when you look at topic number 2 now, you're now going to say, so how do we create based on the information that we have gathered on the client, and based on what is happening currently in the market, how do we now see if the expected return is actually realistic based on the information that is currently happening in the market? So there are different theorems that are going to be looked at there, that we're going to look at as well in determining that expected return, to say, based on what the client says wants as well, and based on what is happening in the market as well, ideally this is the expected return that they should expect to earn on their investment, based on where they want to invest. And remember, the choice of where they would want to invest is going to be based on what? Risk and return objectives coming together. Now that you've determined how much the expected return should be, you're now going to address another question to say, now that you have this expected return, which investments are we going to invest in to meet this expected return? So for us to earn this expected return, which investments are we going to invest in? Now, remember, when you're now looking at your choice of investments, in simple terms, we know that when it comes to your choice of investments, you have your cash and cash equivalents. You have your so you have your cash and the cash equivalents, which is basically your money market as well, money market investment. And then you have bonds, investment in bonds. You also have investment in real estate. And then you also have investments in equities as well. And as you can see, the more you're moving in this particular direction, going here, from cash to bonds, real estate investments to equity investment as well. As you can see, your risk exposure is increasing, and at the same time, your expected return from the investment is also increasing as well. So the more you invest in going in this direction, your risk exposure is increasing. Your expected return that you're expecting to earn from this investment is also increasing. And usually, your time frame on exactly for you to earn that expected return as well is generally increasing the more you go in this particular direction as well. So the more you go in this particular direction as well, generally, these are the things that you need to look into when you're now looking at what? Methodical investment, not necessarily speculation, where you're now looking at, for example, day traders who are trying to take advantage of the movements in the market in the short run as well. But when you look at methodical investments there, this is generally what you have to be on the lookout for. So based on this as well, remember we have now an expected return, right? Now the question becomes, so how much of your portfolio do we need to invest in? So how much of your portfolio should we invest in cash and cash equivalent? How much of your portfolio should be invested in bonds? And what percentage of your portfolio should be invested in real estate? And what percentage of your investment should be invested in what? In equity investment. So that's when you're now going to be looking at what? Asset allocation. So you see that based on this now, when you now look at this study unit, so based on this reasoning, when we now look at this study unit there, where you look at asset allocation, the study unit on asset allocation is basically based on now say, so what percentage of your portfolio is going to be invested in these different asset classes as well. So that's what you're going to be looking at under this particular topic. And under this topic as well, the lecturer gives you a rundown of that. And then after this particular guideline, then they also tell you exactly which chapters ideally you should be looking at as well. So you see that when it comes to these chapters as well, you're going to be looking at chapter number 5 of the textbook. Because if you check on the chapters in the textbook there, chapter number 5 of the textbook is where you're looking at what? At asset allocation. So chapter number 5, you're looking at asset allocation. Chapter number 4, you're looking at capital market expectations, where you're determining the expected return. And chapter number 1, number 2, number 3, you are dealing with the investment policy statement. So you're looking at the investment policy statement in general. Here, you are now looking at the investment policy statement for individual investors. And here, you are looking at the investment policy statement for institutional investors as well. Are we on the same page so far before we move on with the breakdown of the curriculum? Any questions?
Afternoon, Ray.
Yes.
Just to ask, in terms of the bond and the real estate, these things are not classified under one category. Is there a difference?
Bonds, it's not a bond like, for example, a house bond for a house. It's a different terminology. A bond that we're talking about here is
Okay.
where we say, when you look at your accounting equation, your assets is equals to equity plus liabilities, right? And then we say, when it comes to equity, this is where you look at ordinary share capital. This is where you also look at retained earnings. And then you also have a hybrid instrument, which is have characteristics of equity, also has characteristics of debt financing there, which is your preference shares as well. Then under debt financing, this is where your debt financing there, a company to finance its operations there, right? They can either get a loan from the different institutions or individuals, or they can issue what we refer to as a bond. So with a bond, in this case, it's basically a commitment to say, if you give me money, it's either I'll pay you the full amount plus interest at a particular point in time at once, or over the course of the period, I'm going to be paying you interest on what I'm owing you. And then after a given period of time, I'm going to repay you what I've borrowed from you as well. So that's basically how it works with the bonds as well. It's more like bonds for a house, but you're now looking at it in a reverse transaction where you are the one, the company is the one that is getting the financing and then servicing that financing loan as well. Are we on the same page?
No, thank you so much, sir.
Are we together? All right. So, are there any other questions? Any other questions? Now, moving on. So under asset allocation, we look at all the breakdown of exactly what is expected of us under that chapter, where we are looking at chapter number 5. Then topic number 4 looks at fixed income portfolio management. So when you look at fixed income portfolio management, this is where we look at the part of your portfolio which gives you a fixed return. So the part of your portfolio which gives you a fixed return is where you're looking at what? Fixed income portfolio management. And for Inv4801, the main fixed income asset that we're going to be looking at there is bonds. Remember I said to finance the assets of the business, it's either you finance with equity or you can finance with debt. And one debt instrument that you can also use there is what? Is having a bond. So when you look at fixed income portfolio management there, the main fixed income asset that we're going to be looking at there is understanding how bonds work. And if you check in your textbook there, this is chapter 6 of your textbook, where you look at fixed income portfolio management. So here, the main thing there is basically looking at bonds. And then they give you a breakdown of exactly what is expected of you, where you get the information, and then the lecturer also explains in a bit more detail there under this. But remember, this is all covered in chapter number 6 of your textbook. Then topic 5 now looks to say, remember we said that to finance the assets of the business, it's either you can finance with debt financing, which is through liabilities. Remember, this is debt financing there, right? Or you can finance through equity, right? And one common instrument of equity is where you look at what? Ordinary share capital. So another source of financing there would be equity. So which means when you are also looking at it from a perspective of the investor as well, the investor can invest in these bonds as part of their investment portfolio, or they can invest by buying shares in different companies as well as part of the investment portfolio as well. So when you now look at investment in shares, this is where you look at equity portfolio management as well. So this, if you look at equity portfolio management, this is now chapter number 7 of the textbook. So equity portfolio management is chapter number 7 of the textbook. And then the lecturer also gives you a rundown of exactly the different strategies that are used as well in equity investments. So the lecturer gives you the different strategies that are available when it comes to equity investments, and they explain it in a bit more detail there and in the study guide. But remember, this is also covering material that is coming from the study guide as well. That is covered in the chapter of the textbook as well. Then topic 6 looks at alternative investment portfolio management. So which means alternative investment portfolio management there is where we're looking at saying typically the investments that you look at investing there, you typically invest in equity, you typically invest in bonds, and if you have cash that you usually hold on to as well before you decide exactly where you want to move your investments as well. Then we also said that you can also invest in real estate. So real estate is also a good example, or is one of the instruments that are used in alternative investment. So one of the alternative investments is real estate. We're talking about alternative to equity, bonds, or having cash on hand as well. So which means another route of investments, one common route is where you look at real estate. Although there are other instruments that are used in as that fall under alternative investments there, the most common one that we're going to be looking at for Inv4801 is where you look at real estate investments as well. So this is what is covered in that section there, where when you look at alternative investments there, if you check in your textbook, alternative investments is chapter 8 of the textbook. So alternative investments falls under chapter 8 of the textbook. And then the lecturer also gives you a breakdown of exactly a summary of exactly the different types of alternative investments. Although for INV4801, we are going to be focusing more on real estate, but there are other alternative investments, like for example, investment in commodities, investment in hedge funds, investments in managed futures, investment in private equity or venture capital as well. And then this chapter, and also distressed investments in distressed securities as well. So in theory, when it comes to theory-wise, you can take note of the other investments as well. But if there's any potential calculation questions there, it's usually coming from the real estate section as well. Remember, we said this is coming from chapter number 8 of your textbook. Then, now that you have now looked at all these investments available, and now the assumption would be you are now going to look to say, okay, if we are to achieve this expected return, ideally, these are the investments that we need to consider investing in so that we're able to earn this particular investment as well. Now, topic number 7 is where you're now going to look at portfolio performance management and attribution, where you're now going to say, when you now look at your overall portfolio as well, you are trying to say that periodically, whether it's every month or every 6 months, but usually every year or once a year, periodically, you are now going to be reviewing how the portfolio is done. So you're going to be comparing the actual portfolio returns against the expected return. Remember in chapter number 4, we talked about, in chapter number 4, we talked about determining the capital market expectations there, right? And then we said, based on the capital market expectations, we can determine to see exactly how do we, what is going to be the expected return of our portfolio. Now, when you look at performance management now, you're now going to compare that expected return that you were saying that this is the return that we need to be able to earn to meet our goals as well, right? So this expected return, you are now going to be comparing it with the actual return of the portfolio, so that you're able to say check to see exactly these portfolio managers that we've invested in who are managing these different securities in the portfolio as well. How have they done? Are they doing very well? Are they meeting their objectives, or are they failing to meet their objectives? So that you're able to make that decision to say, should we keep investing in this asset, or should we rather get rid of this asset and invest in something else as well? So that's when you're going to be looking at what portfolio performance management and attribution. So this is from chapter number 8. You are now going to look at chapter number 12 of the textbook, which looks at evaluating portfolio performance. So in chapter number 12 of the textbook, there are different methodologies that they discuss there when it comes to determining evaluation of your portfolio performance as well. So which means that all these methodologies that the lecturer is discussing there in summary, it's all material that is covered in chapter number 12 of the textbook as well. So which means that the last chapter that we're going to be doing for the curriculum there is chapter number 12 of the textbook. So this is the rundown of exactly the different chapters that we are expected to make sure that we cover based on the information that they're giving us as well. So which means these are the chapters that we need to make sure that we're going to cover as well. Please note, yes, they did release a study guide based on the new textbook that they introduced as well. But if you look at the past question papers and the past assignments, your life is a lot easier if you concentrate on the old textbook. Because if you concentrate on your old textbook, you will see that the questions are very much straightforward to you when it comes to addressing the questions in the assignments and also in the textbook as well. The material is very much straightforward to you as well. Unless they introduce us to new material in the assignment, because remember, the questions in the assignments, they give us a feel of exactly what to expect in the exam. So unless they start giving us things that are totally, completely new based on the new textbook there, I highly recommend that we go through and concentrate more on the old textbook, unless they completely do away with the old textbook, where they're now going to be focusing on the new textbook. That's when we can do away with the old textbook. But so far, as it stands, even if you look at the Jan-Feb 2025, 2024, 2026 paper as well, you will see that the questions that the lecturer has brought there, they are very much based on the old textbook. So unless otherwise they start giving us completely new information, which is based on the new textbook, they would highly recommend that we concentrate on the old textbook. Yes, we do have the material. We do have the textbook and the workbook for the new textbook. We have the videos going through the new textbook as well. Although for the old textbook, it was 9 chapters. In the new textbook, it's 18 chapters that you're expected to go through as well. It's quite a lot of chapters. So to avoid that confusion there, I would rather we stick to the old textbook unless we see developments where we're expected to use the new textbook in that case. So are there any questions on the
Sorry.
on the breakdown? Yes.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good.
I'm also good. So, based on what you have said regarding focusing more on the old textbook rather than the new textbook, does it mean that we have to skip maybe or ignore chapter 1 and chapter 2 based on the new textbook?
You see, so far they introduced us to the new textbook. I think it was around 2022 when they introduced us to the new textbook. So with the students who were in 2022, I gave them access to the old textbook and to the videos, the material to the old textbook, and then I went through the new textbook with them as well. But when we looked at the exam that was brought in 2023, 2024, 2025, even the the Jan-Feb 2026 paper as well, the material is mostly, if you go through the old textbook, you'll be fine. There's no confusion. Everything is straightforward based on the old textbook. So for now, unless otherwise there's something that's completely new that they bring us there, and we're going to be able to have a feel of that when we look at the assignment number 1. Unless there's something that they're going to bring us that is completely new, you will see that we are better off concentrating on the old textbook than doing away with the old textbook and concentrating on the new textbook. Are we together?
Yes, we are together, so thank you.
So the material for the new textbook is there, but to avoid any confusion, I would rather we concentrate on the old textbook. But the material for the new textbook is there. We do have it. We also have it as a different profile, where for the old textbook, when you log in, currently now we give you access to the profile, where on your profile we give you access to the tab for the old text based on the old textbook. If anything changes, we'll just add on a tab because it's a different course. We prepared it as a different course for you to go through the new textbook. But to avoid confusion there, for now, concentrate on the old textbook. But we'll have a few of exactly if there's any changes there, we'll know with certainty when we go through assignment number 1. You will see for yourself. And I'll also, because remember, when we go through assignment number 1, I don't just give you the answers. I also go with you and say, this question is based on material covered here, here, and there, so that you're able to see and refer back, so that when you're now answering the questions on your own, you're able to now know exactly where it's covered, and then you're able to even go through the videos covering that material so that you better understand the topic as well. All right, are there any other questions?
Hi,
So
Raina.
currently, so far,
Hi,
yes.
sorry. Tell me, what is the difference then between the old textbook and the new one, where one has 12 chapters and the one has 18? What are the extras, if I may ask?
If you check, let me just quickly open the new textbook now. On the new textbook, you see that there are different topics that they ask you to go through. Personally, I feel the new textbook is also more relevant to what's currently happening in the market now. But the issue now is when you go through the new textbook, right, there's a lot of information there. There's a lot of theoretical explanations of concepts than the calculations that you see when you look at past question papers as well in past assignments. So you see that based on this, you see that learning unit number 1 is basically coming from topic 1, where you look at this, and then learning unit number 2, 3, 4, all the way through to learning unit 18. So there are 18 learning units, and these 18 learning units are coming from, each learning unit is a chapter in the new textbook. Are you with me? So the concepts are more or less the same, but now the old textbook is bringing that information in a condensed manner, which is very straightforward. But the new textbook is bringing this information in a more comprehensive manner. And there's also, to make the information relevant as well, or to meet the current conditions as well. That's why you see that they also look at fintech, they also look at currency management, which has not been which is not necessarily covered in the old textbook. They also even look at private wealth management as well. So it's all not necessarily covered. It is covered in the old textbook, but they give it as part of a condensed material in the textbook as well. They don't necessarily go and specialize and look at it in a bit more in depth. But if you look at the questions that they bring in the exam, they are very much condensed based on the old textbook. and not necessarily too specialized when it comes to the questions in the exam. So you will see that I've never seen the question where they ask you about fintech. I've never seen a question where they ask you about currency management or all these other, like, for example, private wealth management, which are very much specialized questions as well. They've never really asked these questions in more detail. If they ask you these questions, it's basically in a very condensed manner, like how it was brought in the old textbook. So because of this, and to avoid confusion, we try stick to the old textbook as much as possible because it's very much straightforward compared to utilizing the new textbook. So yes, if we are going to be concentrating on the new textbook there, it's very much dependent on assignment number 1. If you look at the questions in assignment number 1, if we see that these questions are going to be very much based on the new textbook, then it means that they've now done away with the new textbook and we're concentrating with the old textbook. We can concentrate on the new textbook. But from past experience from year 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, even when you look at the Jan-Feb 2026 paper as well, you are better off looking at the old textbook than going into the new textbook, because the old textbook gives you information which is very much straightforward and easy to understand as well. Are we together?
Yes.
All right. So what I would advise is to have a feel of exactly how we go through the textbook as well. I've shared the link to the YouTube videos which are not embedded into our website because we've made these videos are publicly available on YouTube as well. Please go through these videos because I think these videos we look at we look at study unit 1 where we look at chapter number 1, chapter number 2, and also partly chapter number 3 as well, so that you can have a feel of exactly how we are conducting these classes, so that if it's something that if you feel that you are able to easily understand when you go through these videos, and remember, even as you go through these videos as well, if there's anything that you don't understand, send me a WhatsApp message. I always make sure that I sit down and review and answer your questions as well. If there's anything missing, I always make sure that I also make available that information that might be missing as well. So please make sure that as you go through these videos as well, if there's anything that you don't understand, let me know so that I can assist you as well. So what we do is, remember we said that our next class is we are going to be looking at assignment number 1. So in our next class, we are going to be looking at assignment number 1, and our next class is going to be on the 26th of April. So our next class is going to be on the next 26th of April, where we are going to be in our agenda of our next class there is looking at assignment number 1. And remember, we're going to be having this class from 8 to 11 a.m. It should be on a Saturday, and we're going to be having this class from 8 to 11 a.m. and the agenda there being going through the assignments as well. So please note that to register with us, I'll just need you to send me your email address, and then I'll send you the registration form. Then on the registration form, you can just complete it. The first thing that we'll send you is the email confirming your annual invoice. And then the second thing that we'll send you is the login details, because even if you register with us, you can still be able to access the material, attend classes with us as well, as long as you ensure that by end of April, you would have paid your first installment if you're going to be paying on a monthly basis as well. So you can still register with us now, and then make sure that you pay your first installment anytime between now until end of April. So we don't want you to be hindering yourself in attending classes and missing out on classes as well, because you have not been able to register. So to register with us, you can just fill in the registration form, and then as long as you make sure that you pay your first installment by end of April, there you are more than welcome to register with us as well. So please go through the videos. If there's anything that you don't understand, let me know so that I address any queries that you might have as well. And take note of our timetable. I'm also going to send and share the link to our timetable so that you also have it available as well. If we adjust in our timetable anyhow, I'll also make sure that I also make that announcement on the WhatsApp group. So if any adjustments with the timetable, we're also going to make sure that we make that you don't miss out, and you will make that announcement on the WhatsApp group as well. All right. Are there any questions? Any questions?
Sir,
Mhm.
I'm not sure if this will be relevant or not, but then in terms of your past experiences based on this module, is it more of a theoretical module or a calculation, like a calculate based? Like, I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but then like, is it more of a calculation based module or a theoretical module?
If you look at the past question papers there, right, it's basically a mixture of both theory and calculations. The reason why I'm saying it's a mixture of theory and calculations is mainly because when you look at the preparation of the investment policy statement, you are given a case study. Usually they give you the case study, and based on that case study, it's either you analyze theoretically or you do the calculation as well. And then some concepts, it's calculations. So it's mostly a mixture between theory and calculation. I'll give you as a case study there. If you look at the May-June 2025 paper, I'll just, not necessarily that you need to know how to answer these questions, but I'm just giving you as a good example so that you have a feel of exactly how they bring these questions in the exam. So you see that question number 1, it's a case study that they give you. And then based on this case study, part A, they're saying no calculations, which means it's theory. Part B, it's theory. Part C, it's theory. Part D is also theory as well. Then you look at question number 2. Part A is theory, because they say no calculations are required for the risk and return objective as well. And then the second part there, it's a lot of calculations that you need to do, but interpreting these calculations. And then question number 3, they are giving you this, it's calculations. And then it's also calculations. Question number 4, it's calculations that you're expected. So yes, this is theory. Question number A is theory, and this is theory as well. But then the C and D undo the rest of the question there, it's calculations that you're expected. So do you see that when you look at the past question papers, it's a mixture of theory and calculations. If it's theory, you are given a case study and you are expected to analyze whatever information that they give you in the case study. And if it's theory as well, they can also give you a question, and then based on that particular question there, you can analyze it theoretically, or you can do a calculation, then interpret the information that you've calculated there as well. Or you're just going to do a pure calculation type of question. So do you see that it's more or less like a balance between theory and calculations as well? And if you look at this paper as well, if you go through the previous the old textbook, you are able to comfortably answer those questions without any need for the new textbook as well. Are we together?
Yes, we're together. Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions? So the reason why I'm giving you this information is I don't want you to be surprised where I say, if they, based on the questions in assignment number 1, if they give you questions which are doing away with the old textbook altogether, I don't want you to be surprised and think that I misled you as well. But based on past experience, and when you look at the trend of how the lecturer is asking these questions, when you look at past assignments and past question papers as well, that's why we try to guide you so that you don't waste time going through information that's going to create a lot of confusion to you as well. So to avoid that, that's why we try to guide you in a certain way. But remember, we also leave that door open that based on what we're seeing in the assignment, especially assignment number 1, based on what we see in the assignments, especially assignment number 1, if we see that the lecturer is now totally moved away from the old textbook, that's when we can now accommodate the new textbook as well. But in the meantime, the way it looks, we are better off concentrating on the old textbook, because if you look at the question that they are bringing, even when you look at the rundown of what I gave you, what I showed you now, May, June 2025 paper, more focused on the old textbook than the new textbook. So you see that the material that the lecturer is asking there, you are fine if you go through the old textbook and answer the questions based on the old textbook. You are very much fine. Are there any other questions? All right. If there are no questions, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please, between now until the assignment date, please try as much as possible to register so that we make sure that we accommodate you for the assignments. Because remember, on the assignments now, we're going to be dealing with students who are officially registered with us as well. So which means because of this, try as much as possible to register with us if you want to continue getting assistance from us between now and do the assignments day, so that you don't end up missing on the assignment as well. That's why we try to be as flexible as possible when it comes to the registration process, so that we don't end up having a situation where you end up missing out on the assignment class and you miss out on asking questions which are pertinent to the assignment as well. All right, enjoy your weekend.